New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to official newspapers in the city of New Brunswick, namely the Home News Tribune and Star Ledger.
Salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reorganization of the board. Nomination for chair, or you got
I
it?
just want to clarify one thing with Mr. Solomon.
Okay.
We had a conversation. We can do pretty much all of these by voice vote?
Yes. You don't have to. It's chair's prerogative.
Okay.
You can do it by voice vote or just aye or
Oh,
nay.
We can do voice vote. Yep.
So,
Do I nominate a temporary chair, or we don't need to do that?
we don't.
Okay.
I think I always nominate the chair. So I would nominate John Cox to continue on as chair for the planning board. Should we
Second.
so choose.
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Nomination for vice chair.
I nominate Bob Fardiga for vice chair.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Wonderful.
Nomination of board secretary.
Nominate Dan Dominguez for board secretary. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, wonderful, thank you.
Appointment of board attorney.
All right, I hope you all got a copy of the memo, but Mr. Solomon is city employee. This wasn't bid out. I would recommend that the board continue on with Mr. Solomon in capacity of board attorney.
I nominate Mr. Solomon for board attorney.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Appointment of board planner. Okay. Okay. No, just put it on the record.
Yeah, Plan Lopez is here, and it's, time is it? It is 6:30.
Dan, do we have to do the conflict attorney also, or no? I don't see it on the thing.
I guess there's a lot of bullets there. I guess I missed it. We can just do it right after conflict board engineer. We can just do conflict attorney.
All right, appointment of board planner.
We received bids from Hiram Rule and Bignell Planning. Bignell Planning was the lowest bidder, but also we would recommend staying the course with our existing board planning consultants with Mr. Bignell and Todd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
Appointment of conflict alternate board planner.
So technically, this kind of defaults to me anyway, just by automatic right, as this only licensed planner that the city has on staff. But I would like, for clarity's sake, to just have it authorized by the board formally. I think it would be a good choice to, not to pick me, although I do agree, but I think it'd be a good choice just to ratify it formally.
Even if you don't, you still gotta do the work.
That's true. That's true.
I nominate Dan Dominguez for conflict.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Wonderful, thank you.
Appointment of board engineer.
So for this, for board engineer, Mr. Hajar, despite having left the city in terms of being its full-time city engineer, has stayed on in the capacity of doing our board, planning board and zoning board reviews since he left, which has been surprising, but it's been effective because he's a good engineer. He's still on staff as a part-time employee for the city of New Brunswick, and I would recommend continuing on in this capacity for Mr. Hajar.
I'll make a motion for Tony Hagier.
Second.
For the board engineer.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Wonderful.
Appointment of conflict board engineer.
All right, so last year we received a couple of bids for conflict board engineer from Delaware Raritan and FPA. FPA is the firm that does our day-to-day city engineering work. And DNR was our board engineer before we hired Dan Burke many years ago. Last year, we onboarded both as options for the alternates. And I would recommend that we do the same given our past history with DNR plus our active relationship with FPA in its capacity as our city engineering staff.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Appointment of hydraulic monitor.
This is where
We have the
I wanted to add. the-
Oh, I'm sorry, I went and
Attorney.
mumbled.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
that's okay.
Conflict attorney?
Yes,
Appointment
so
of
we
conflict
received
attorney.
2 bids, one from McMahon in Scotland and Bauman, and one from Post Pollock. The bid from Post Pollock was lower, but we've had a good working relationship with McMahon in Scotland and Bauman, and it doesn't come up a lot because 99% of the time that we have a coverage issue, we get Tim from Bob Smith's office. Again, he does work at Bob Smith's office, but he's right now. So I think it would be best that since it happens in a random and infrequent sort of way, that we keep working with the firm that we have an active relationship with in this capacity.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Appointment of hydraulic modeling water system capacity analyst.
So for both of these, hydraulic and
Oh,
traffic
thanks,
system
Adam.
monitoring, this is Mount McDonald, who provides a service sort of like bespoke software and bespoke modeling and not subject to fair and open. That's basically who we have. So if we'd like to keep going with it, we can. It comes up, I think, once or twice a year at most, but it's a good tool to have for major projects, sometimes for calculating both. I will do the votes individually, and we'll have to do, nominations first and second for each individually, but it's the same deal for both.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can I have a motion for appointment of hydraulic modeling water system capacities analyst?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Appointment for traffic systems analyst engineer?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so this is sort of just reaffirming the dates that we voted on at the December meeting.
Nothing has changed, correct?
Nothing has changed.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion to adopt. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Designation of minor site plan committee representative?
I made a note here, and I think that historically for this one, it is Mr. Stellatella who is appointed by the board, should the chair and the board agree.
Motion to appoint Mr. Salatella. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? You didn't even ask him if you wanted to do it.
Oh, we can't give him the option.
Well, he can say no.
No.
He's doing it anyway.
Nay. No. No.
And
Designation of minor subdivision committee representatives?
And for this one, it is both, it's Mr. Steltel and Mrs. Sikora Love.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, wonderful.
Other matters of interest to the public? Charlie, please come forward.
Good evening, board members, Charlie Prattville.
Wait, this is public comment, I don't need to swear in for public.
No, this is the other matters of interest, right?
Yeah, wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year and say that this would be a good time to revisit how these meetings are done and, allow remote access to the meetings. I'll note, the city can always do a better job of getting the word out about them. I didn't see anything in the Hub City News about this meeting. I don't see it on the calendar of the city website. And yeah, I would think at a bare minimum, we'd be using those resources to, sort of calendarize these meetings and get them out. Lo and behold, I'm the only person that wanted to come out tonight, but maybe you'd have more interest and involvement from a more diverse group of city residents if you made it easier to access and spread the word about it. So I hope somebody will contact the powers that be and ask them to make sure that future meetings of the planning board get the proper publication in those outlets. I also wanted to ask about a matter that we had on the agenda before, the new Redmond 2 redevelopment area. I understand you've all, you should all, be familiar with it by now. Some of you voted for it. And it's come to my attention that the interests that want to build this office building in our downtown are actually the County of Middlesex, the government. They want to build the building to be occupied by various county departments, including but not limited to the prosecutor's office, health and human services, and community development. And I guess I wanted to ask if any of the board members knew that at the time that the plan was presented to you.
I don't recall.
I don't think it was ever told to us exactly what was going there. It was just saying offices, as far as I remember.
Okay, well, I appreciate your honesty. I think that's wrong. I think that you should have been told. I think that there's no good reason for the county to conceal their involvement in this proposal. And I really think that it's starting to smell fishy that you all weren't told, but you were presented with a redevelopment plan that is essentially serving the interests of the government across the street. We need better communication. And, the county's not doing a good job if they're sneaking around and pushing these things through, the county seat, the government of the county seat, without being upfront about what they're trying to do. I don't see what the harm would have been in saying, yeah, the county is planning to rent out the building and use it for law enforcement, use it for health and human services, and that might have actually presented some more good information for this board to use in deciding whether or not to move ahead with the plan. Certainly would have benefited me. I would have, as a member of the public, would have wanted to know that it was the county that was behind the plan. And I guess I'm just curious if you share my view and you wish that you had been informed.
I'm not, no comment. No comment.
Okay, well, another year. Good to be with you. And I'll try to attend as many meetings as I can this year. New Brunswick Today will bring our camera and record them whenever possible and post those recordings to the New Brunswick Today YouTube channel. But I would encourage you all to get with the program, use modern technology, record these meetings, and proactively share the recordings just like the City Council does. I don't see why this board can't do that. Most of the other towns are doing that these days. The planning board does a lot of important things and people want to know, so that's why our camera's here tonight. But just in case we can't make it, this board should be recording the meetings and sharing the recordings. Just for the record, I know you audio record, but you don't share the recordings. People have to ask for them. It would be much better if you shared the recordings so everybody could listen. That's all.
Thank you. Do you have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
I mean, I think technically we should close the public.
Oh.
No, but because it's, well, I don't know if I ever did, but, all right, we're gonna close the other matters of interest to the public.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night.